Osceola County Sheriff arrested for racketeering, sparking widespread concern across Florida communities.
Has now been arrested.
Channel 9 was the first to break this arrest and the charges related to what the state calls a massive illegal gambling operation. We have live in-depth team coverage.
And I'm looking at the specific location wrapped up in this investigation.
What a busy news day. You are looking right now at the mugshot of the Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez, who is now suspended by Governor Ron DeSantis. It has been, again, a busy afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Martha Sagowski.
And I'm Darlene Jones. He was booked into the Lake County Jail around noon today, just about 4 hours ago. Since then, our team of reporters have uncovered new developments, bringing them to you first here on Channel 9 and WFTV.com. Channel 9 investigative reporter Shannon Butler broke this story and starts off our team coverage live at the Federal Building in Orlando, where Sheriff Marcos Lopez was arrested this morning. Shannon.
Darlene, we were here this morning just after 9:30. Sheriff Marcos Lopez pulled up in that black Denali you see right there. He got out of this vehicle just before 10 o'clock. He went into the front door of this building. He was in there about 3 minutes before he was surrounded by those federal agents. Yes. Stripped then of his gun, and now he is stripped of his badge. It was just moments. He was in there, walked in on his own, but left in a police car. It was just before 10 a.m. when Sheriff Marcos Lopez pulled his black SUV into this parking lot.
Yeah, this is great, guys. I was like, I couldn't wait to get to this part. Did you see his face in the beginning of this video? It's like, no handcuffs. You remember the other sheriff that shot the judge in that whole case? I never got around to covering it, but Gavin Fish did. It feels very similar. Shout out to Michelle Patterson watching from Sydney, Australia. In Australia, it's already tomorrow. All right. You can crochet me some potatoes. Please do. I have one right here that's a positive potato. Maybe you can send me a rotten potato. All right, let's go. We're gonna get into the details after this of the operation.
For a meeting with Homeland Security investigators. We were there as he was led in the front door. But just minutes after his arrival, and handcuffs by those federal agents, seemingly unaware of why. Arrested and charged with racketeering, his mugshot right here. According to HSI, the investigation started in 2023. The allegations that Marcos Lopez was involved in a massive gambling operation, one that was up and running here in Central Florida, not only in Osceola County, but also in Lake County. It's also one that brought in more than $20 million. Investigators saying it all started after Lopez took office in 2020. The gambling operations were allowed to set up illegally and run in his county, all in exchange for cash. Investigators writing, quote, Sheriff Lopez played a multifaceted role in expanding and protecting this illegal enterprise while using his office to shield the enterprise from law enforcement. He was immediately suspended by the governor, as others were also arrested. But this could be just the beginning. Investigators telling us more warrants are being served and more arrests could be coming. The special agent in charge, John Condon, sending a statement today saying, quote, no one, regardless of their position, is above the law. Now, if you take a close look at that video of the sheriff's arrest, you can see he asked those federal agent, what is this all about? That is what he said as he was being put.
He was wondering if it was, if he was getting arrested for the CSAM stuff or the gambling. Just kidding. I don't know that he's involved in CSAM. I just don't like that he had Madeline Soto's body on his phone. And I wonder what other pictures he had on his phone. And obviously it's his personal phone, or he's using his work phone for personal things. So it's either or, right? All right, let's keep going. I thought that was funny, his walk of shame, because boy, if we go back to his past arrests and what he's done to people for far less crimes like shoplifting, this guy is part of a $26.1 million gambling ring, all right, with lots of people. Yeah, we're gonna see Dexter cartoons next too. All right, love you too, badass Tara. You change your name every day. You change your name every day. Thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate you.
Put in handcuffs. Now, again, he has been suspended. A new sheriff has been appointed by the governor. That is Chief Christopher Blackman from the FHP. We will have much more on him at 4:30. But in the meantime, we have learned that people at the sheriff's office have already been fired. We are live tonight in Orange County. Shannon Butler, Channel 9. Eyewitness News.
Again, only Shannon Butler breaking this story. Thank you so much, Shannon. And our team coverage continues right now with Channel 9's Sabrina Majore, who is live outside of the Lake County Jail. Sabrina, Lopez is there right now on no bond.
Yeah, Martha, Lopez was booked here just after 11 this morning, and like all inmates, he was fingerprinted. They took photographs of him, and the information was transferred to an online system about his charges. We did learn from the Lake County PIOs, the public information officers, that he's likely being held in an area away from other inmates. That's because of his status, of course, as a former sheriff.
They are very serious charges.
Osceola County's top law enforcement officer set to face a Lake County judge on first-degree felonies for racketeering and conspiracy.
Now this was laid out within days and then hours, like one day back to back. So he got fired or he got suspended and then arrested. Now I don't know where the mods are. There you go. Teresa, there's how you become a member. You click on youtube.com/guilty of crime and join. Thank you, Foxy. You caught that. All right, let's keep going. Let's look at this arrest. Racketeering, second-degree felony, warrant, no bond. Now, later on, they're going to give him a bond. It's set at $1 million. And then this morning, he went back. All right, they suspended that bond.
To commit racketeering. They each carry up to a 30-year prison sentence.
It's not.
The former sheriff will soon enter his plea during an arraignment on June 30th.
No matter if you are the lowliest criminal or a high-profile sheriff, everybody receives the same due process with the criminal justice system.
Lopez first joined the Osceola County Sheriff's Office in 2003 while still serving in the Navy Reserve. He completed more than 20 years of military service and went on to work various roles at the Sheriff's Office, including with communications, the Patrol Division, and criminal investigations, before he was elected sheriff in 2020.
So how do you got? Yeah,
Lopez was sworn in 2021 and made history, becoming the first Hispanic sheriff in the state of Florida.
And that's what I'm talking about. Some people were like, Jay, what does that mean? What does that have anything to do with him and being Hispanic, or Jen and being Hispanic, and Yolanda being Hispanic? Well, Yolanda has many ties to the Hispanic community, and they do lots of activity with money and finances and moving things around and helping people move their things around. All right. So there you go. Look at that. Hispanic sheriff elected in Florida. You just heard. And then Thomas brought that up. So there's a big deal, guys. There's a big deal with this. Okay. I promise. That's why I brought it today, because people in Florida were going crazy over this. I wouldn't have heard of this. I'm in California. This is not on my local news.
He prioritized de-escalation training, implemented a real-time crime center at the sheriff's office, and launched a mentorship program between juveniles and deputies before he was re-elected last year.
If we can save one person and make an impact in someone's life, that's what we're trying to do here.
And Lopez's tenure as Osceola County Sheriff was not without controversy. We're breaking down some of those coming up at 6, but for now, recording live in Lake County, I'm Sabrina Major.
All right, so now we're going to talk about the actual operation. Sadie's mama, thank you so much. I did see your comment. It was flying by, but Jay, that's the jail just down the street from me. I see you ride by it all the time. And yes, that's why Yolanda is so powerful as she is, because the main population is Hispanic. If you look at the demographics there. Yes, welcome Teresa Letcher. You guys welcome her. She figured out how to get a membership. Yay. What's up, Em? Happy Friday. We're giving things away today, so stay here. All right. He should have been arrested last year. I agree. But it took them a while to put this case together. And when you hear more of the details about it, yeah, creative bookkeeping is right, Carol. Creative bookkeeping. That's a wonderful way to say that. All right, so we're going to talk about everything we know so far in the operation, and then we're going to do all the other details of the case that have been unfolding this morning and today.
And YouTube. Top of today's Top 4 at 4, where we break down 4 of the big stories that we're tracking in the Fox 35 newsroom. And joining us for today's Top 4 at 4 is Fox 35 news anchor John Brown. And John, we appreciate you joining us.
Yep, Top 4 at 4. It's all one story.
It is all one
Multiple
story.
angles right now, because this story is getting headlines Somewhat nationally, but definitely in every corner of Florida here. So we start with the big news today. Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez has been arrested on charges of racketeering and conspiracy to commit racketeering. This is over his alleged involvement in a major, years-long illegal gambling operation in a couple of counties that they know of. He was arrested today earlier in his uniform. The video of his arrest was released by Homeland Security agents in the Tampa area. And as you can see, that's him being arrested there. He appears to mouth the words,
"What's about?"
Now, we were just debating why he was there. They must have called him in and then sprung that on him. So he was arrested Thursday morning and booked into jail. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis immediately suspended him as the sheriff. Now, again, this story making news all across the country because, well, it's shocking that an elected official accused of such serious charges, and one of our law enforcement experts, Jamie Copenhaver, he sounded off about this today. He was shocked, too.
Those are some shocking revolutions. I mean, anytime you're dealing with a racketeering charge, I mean, that carries a serious prison sentence, Garrett. I think there's still a minimum mandatory on a racketeering charge if convicted. So, the sheriff's going to have a lot of hurdles to jump over to build a defense on this case. But, the gambling aspect of that's shocking. And then campaign finance.
And it has been interesting to see some of those details of what they are accusing him of.
Yeah, let's talk about that right now, because actually, when you hear the number, everybody's kind of like, dang, this is a big deal. Okay, so here's what they've uncovered in their investigation, they say.
And we're going to show you some of the paperwork and accounts and people that are involved inside of this gambling operation, you guys. So this is a big deal. I mean, if you live in Florida, you probably realize it much more than others. It's affecting the community. Trust that it's affecting the community. All right. Now, Rachel, I'm not saying he's connected to Jen's mom.